Hello everyone, in this video we are going to talk about the ureter. So without any further delay, let's get started. So again, as of the kidney, ureter is also a retroperitoneal structure. Retroperitoneal structure means this organ which lies posterior to the peritoneum. Means it is covered from one side and that is anterior of it. For example, this is the ureter. So it is covered anteriorly by the peritoneum. Alright, so that is the retroperitoneal structure. So if you talk about the dimension, it is 25 centimeter in length. That means 10 inches in length. And if from in 10 inches, 5 inch is in abdomen and 5 inches is in pelvis. Alright, and then after if you talk about the diameter, so its diameter is 3 mm. And then after there are 5 places in the urinary ureter where it is constricted, and most of the stones, while it passes from the kidney, it lodges in those places. All right. So we need to know about that also. Before that, let's see the ureter. So this is the ureter. All right. And in ureter, we can see there is a renal pelvis, and that continues as ureter. All right. So lower lower end of the kidney is the point from which the ureter proper start. All right. So if we draw a straight uh, horizontal line from the lower pole of the renal pelvis to the ureter, we will get the side from below which ureter proper started. All right. And then after ureter just passes by the uh, side of the transverse process of the spine. So while watching the radiography, we can get the idea that ureter might be, if we can't see the ureter, we can just clearly say that ureter might be passing from these points normally. All right. So it passes just besides of the transverse process of the spine, and then after in the side of that there is the muscle that is psoas major, and then after this is the termination point of the common iliac artery. From here, it still slightly laterally, all right, near the greater sciatic nerves. Then after near the ischial spine, it's again revert back medially towards the bladder. All right. So this is the normal region. All right. And this termination point of the common iliac artery shows us the starting region of the pelvic starting point of the pelvic part of the ureter, and then after the opening of ureter is in the base of the urinary bladder. So this is the general thing which we need to know, that ureter passes from uh, besides of the transverse process in abdomen. Then after common iliac arteries differentiation point, means branching point, is the point where the abdominal part of the ureter just ends and pelvic region started. Now let's talk about the normal constriction of the ureter. So there are 5 normal constriction of the ureter. First one is the pelvic-ureteric junction. Alright, then after second one is the crossing point of the pelvic brim by the common iliac artery. Third one is the crossing of the ureter by the ductus deferens. And fourth one is the opening of ureter orifice at the trigone. And one more is there, that is during its oblique passes through the bladder wall. Alright, so this oblique passage is the one constriction, and then after near the opening of the trigone, that is the fifth one. So in this way there are 5 constriction in the ureter. First one is at the pelvic ureteric junction, second one is the point at which the common iliac artery crosses, and that point is called crossing the pelvic brim. Alright, then after that is crossing of at the point at which it is ureter is crossed by the ductus deferens, and the fourth point is the oblique passage in the during oblique passage in the bladder, and fifth one is at the trigone. So in these are the 5 constriction in the ureter, and generally a stone do um, get lost at this point while passing from kidney to the urinary bladder. Then after there are relations So in renal pelvis, what we have found that branches of renal arteries and vein uh, lies in front and behind of the renal pelvis, renal sinus. All right. Then after outside the kidney, what is the portion of outside the kidney? It is after renal pelvis and before of the ureter proper. So in this portion, we have to remember anterior relation and the posterior relation. In anterior relation, there is difference between right and left kidney. In right kidney, we have renal vessels, and in left kidney as well we have renal vessels. But in second part of duodenum is only in the anterior relation to in the right kidney, and pancreas, peritoneum, and jejunum is in the left kidney. So these are the anterior relation of the right and left kidney in the part below the renal pelvis and before the ureter proper starts. Then after there is psoas major muscle posteriorly. These are the two relations which we need to remember in the outside the kidney. All right. Then after there is abdominal part of ureter. In abdominal part of the ureter, we have to remember anterior relation, posterior relation, and medial relation. What are the three relations? Anterior, posterior, and medial relation. They are the important relations which we need to remember. So in anterior relation, there is the difference between right and left kidney. So some are common and some are different. What are the common? So peritoneum is common to both, as ureter is the retroperitoneal organ. Then after gonadal artery is in both. All right. Then after there is colic vessel. So there is left colic vessel in the left side and right colic vessel in the right side. As this is the abdominal part, so colic means the artery or vein which supplies the colon. So in this way we can remember that colic vessel may be also there. Now for extra you need to remember them. So in left side there is sigmoid colon. So there is sigmoid colon and sigmoid major colon. And in the right side there is the root of mesentery, then after terminal part of the ileum, and third part of the duodenum. So to remember this, I've already told you that you need to remember them, means mugging up them. Alright. And posteriorly both have the same structure, psoas major, transverse process, and genitofemoral nerve. Then after medially there is inferior vena cava and left gonadal vein. So inferior vena cava lies medial to the right ureter, and left gonadal vein lies medial to the left ureter. And inferior mesenteric vein is common to both. Alright. Now let's talk about the pelvic part. So in pelvic part we have to learn the posterior relation and then after the lateral relation. So these two relations are important in the pelvic part. So posteriorly there is internal iliac artery, internal iliac vein, lumbosacral trunk, and sacroiliac joint. What are those? Internal iliac artery, internal iliac vein, lumbosacral trunk, and sacroiliac joint. So sacroiliac joint is the point where sacrum, the bone with this one, sacrum joins with the ilium part of the pelvic bone. All right. So this is lies posteriorly, means ureter lies just in front of it. So this is one of the major radiological mark to identify the past, matlab means to find the pathway of the ureter from the abdomen to the ureter. All right. Then after laterally, there is the fascia which cover the obturator internus muscle. All right. And then after there is superior vesical artery. Superior vesical artery is also very important one. It supplies upper portion of the bladder and the lower means distal portion of the ureter. And this is the branch of umbilical artery, which is the branch of anterior division of the internal iliac artery. Then after there is obturator artery and vein. So this obturator is very important one. See, there is obturator internus muscle. Then after there is obturator artery and vein. So this is the common one. So by remembering obturator, you can write two things. Then after there is inferior vesical vein and middle rectal artery. So again, I am saying the same thing. The relations are the things which you need to mugging up. Few of the structure you can write by just remembering that these structures are there. Okay, so now let's talk about the male and female uterus. So as they are different, some structure are different in them, and let's talk about them one by one. So in male there is presence of ductus difference. All right. So it crosses the ureter superiorly from lateral to medial side. What is it trying to say? For example, this is the ureter. All right. So these ductus differences crosses its superiorly and laterally in this way. All right. Then after there is seminal vesicle. So if this is the ureter, all right, and this seminal vesicle lies posteriorly, all right, and below of the ureter. You can see right here. So it is posteriorly and below of the ureter. Then after there is vesical veins, and these veins surround the terminal part of the ureter. So vesical vein surrounds the terminal part of the ureter. These are the three relations which we need to remember in males. Then after in female, there is the broad ligament of uterus. What is it actually? So see, this is the uterine, all right, and this uterine, and then after there is the fallopian tube, and then after there is ovary, all right. So there is a ligament which is beside the uterus, and this ligament is called broad ligament of uterus. So ureter just passes posterior to it, and about 2 to 2.1.5 2.5 centimeter. It also crosses the cervix posteriorly. So this one is one of the major relation. Then after there is uterine artery. So uterine artery run in this way. First, it is above and in front of the ureter for 2.5 centimeter in pelvic region, and then after it crosses superiorly from lateral to the medial side in the same way as it is crossed by the uh, ductus difference in male. Right. Now supravaginal portion of cervix. So ureter lies 2 centimeter lateral to it, and ureter runs slightly above the lateral fornix of vagina. So supravaginal portion, you know this one, all right. So this is called the supravaginal portion of the vagina, all right. So in this region the ureter lies laterally, all right, and there is this portion, it is the vestibule, and this is the uterine cavity, and there is like this curve, this is called the lateral fornix, all right. So it lies slightly above the lateral fornix of the vagina. So this is the relation of the ureter in the supravaginal of the supravaginal portion of the cervix. Then after terminal portion of the ureter lies anterior to the vagina. So these are the four things which you need to know in female, and these are the three things which you need to know in terms of male. These are totally different in male and female. Now let's talk about the intravesical part. So there is the oblique course of ureter that has the valvular action, means it behaves like vein. It allows just forward movement, doesn't allow backward movement. So intravesical portion has this one of the major function, that it acts like the valve, so that the urine that has already passed in the bladder can't just revert back. And then after there is the ureteric opening. So when the bladder is completely full, the distance between two ureter in the bladder is 5 centimeter. But when the bladder is empty, the distance between two ureter is only 2.5 centimeter. Then after blood supply. So upper part receive branches from the renal artery, and it may also receive branches from the gonadal or colic vessels. Middle part receive branch from the abdominal aorta directly, and it may also receive branches from the gonadal or iliac vessels. Then after pelvic part is supplied by the branches from the vesical, middle rector, and uterine vessel. So these are the blood supply of the uterus. So there are three. We have divided the uterus into three regions. So there is upper part, middle part, and the pelvic part. So in upper part, renal artery is the main one. You need to remember this. If you want to remember extra, you may remember this, that it also receives branches from the gonadal and colic vessel. But this is compulsory. Renal artery is compulsory. Then after middle part. So again in middle part you need to remember the aorta. It gets the branches from the aorta. But you may write extra like it may also receive branches from the gonadal or iliac vessel. So for upper part, renal artery is compulsion. For middle portion, aorta is compulsion. Branches from the aorta is compulsion, And for the pelvic part, you need to write this all: vesicle, middle rector, and uterine vessel. And then after, and if you are said in male, then uterine vessel is not the option. And there are some notes which you may remember. So ureter are closely attached to the peritoneum, and these arteries divide into ascending and descending branch which form a plexus on the surface of ureter and supplies it. Alright. Then after, upper and middle part receive branches from the medial side, while the pelvic part receives arterial supply from the lateral side. Alright. So see, this was the ureter. So upper and the middle part gets supplied or branch from the medial side. Alright, this is the medial side, but lower portion of it gets branch from the lateral side. These are some basic things which you may remember. Then after, there is the term nerve supply. So for sympathetic action, there is T10 to L1 branches which supplies. Then after, for parasympathetic action, there is S2 to S4 nerve. And then after, there is one again point that these nerves reaches the ureter through the renal, aortic, and hypogastric plexus. All right, and these all nerves are appear to be sensory in function. They don't have any motor functions. Then after, now let's talk about the clinical application of uh, this ureter anatomy. So there can be ureteric colic. Colic means pain, means there can be severe pain of the ureter, and nerve supply for that is T11 to L2. Then after, there can be ureteric stone, means there can be stone in the ureter. It is a very common issue. Then after, there can be duplex ureter. While dealing the development of urinary system, we have also talked that there can be two ureters, which may later form the single ureter after passing from the kidney, or they might just go to the two different locations. One might go in the bladder and other might open at some abnormal sites. All right. So there is duplex ureter, and also there is written that two ureter training each side. Then after, there is the ectopic ureter. So this one, the urine is drained outside of the bladder, and then after, there is the uterocele. Seal means balloon like, I told. So there is the cystic dilation of the lower end of the ureter. So these are the clinical application of the ureter. I hope this video might be helpful for you.